What's going on, guys? Doc is back with you in the car on another lovely trip to the cinema. Hope you all had a nice Independence Day if you celebrate, if you're an American. Hope you had a nice, I think Bastille Day for all you Frenchmen has just passed. I know Canadian Independence Day was just last weekend, so everybody is celebrating their freedom. So let's celebrate with our freedom by going to see the new Purge movie. I still have yet to make a time to go and see Sicario yet, so you guys will probably end up getting an episode on that once I'm able to see it, but still not happening, so I guess I'm just choosing to fucking torture myself today because I am admittedly not really a fan of these Purge movies. I mean, the concept is pretty fantastic. I can't fault at that because it is a pretty cool idea. Just like I've seen all three of these fucking movies, and I could not, like, beyond the bare bones of what happened, I could not tell you what happened because I have never seen any of these movies in theaters. So I usually do pretty well with the first act in them. I'm usually able to I don't know why. It seems like everybody kind of gives the most flack to the first movie, but I kind of appreciate the quality in a movie when it's like I can forgive a movie its faults when I can tell that it didn't cost that much money. Like, it's pretty. I don't mind movies that cost less money. I think it's kind of cool when people go on a wing and a prayer with a pretty nifty idea and they're able to execute it with just using their imagination, not having to go too crazy. And that's why I probably like the first one the best, even though I really couldn't tell you too many specifics other than Cersei's in it, Ethan Hawke's in it. Spoiler: Ethan Hawke dies, and like a band of good guys come to save them that don't like the Purge. And other than that, that's about all I can tell you about pretty much all of those movies. But the second and third ones, I don't know, they're just a lot easier to look away from, I guess, is the point of them, that I'm very poorly trying to drive home. I don't know. I'm just, maybe it's the climate of the world we're in. Maybe I'm just getting fucking old. But I don't know. I'm just I'm so goddamn sick of this, like, 24, like, Jack Bauer mentality that so many of these movies feel like they have to fucking degrade themselves to. Because The Purge, honestly, is a pretty cool idea. It's a very cool idea. These could be, like, the coolest movies coming out right now. These could be, like, the new fucking, like, crazy-ass, like, Mad Max movies, but, like, they're not. They're fucking vanilla as hell. They're like, it's like somebody who's like never left their house in their whole life being told they could like do like oh yeah, just like write down what you think like people would do in this situation, and they're like an agoraphobic weirdo and they've never left their house, so like all they can think of is like how fucking entitled white people are gonna fucking take over the world because they all need fucking therapists because they didn't suck their mom's tits enough or something like that, and because like I don't even know. Yeah, they had to like suck their nanny's tits instead of their mom because like they're so rich. I don't know. It's what the fuck, dude? Yeah, just slam into my fucking car. Make me fucking rich, asshole. Just kidding. I drive a fucking $4,000 car. But what was I saying? Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. All I gotta do is get a little bit more creative with these stories, and it doesn't really seem like they care to do that because they just, the more money these movies seem to get, the more lazy they seem to get. Like, they're not, like, the first one at least was kind of a thriller horror type vibe. It felt like a horror movie, like, I mean, obviously mixed with like that, like I said, the thriller vibe, but the second and third one were just fucking shitty fucking jump scare action movies. Like I said, I had a hard time not looking at my phone while watching them, which is why I'm kind of testing myself right now and going to see this new one in the theaters. fingers are crossed that it keeps me more entertained, but I'm really not thinking that it will. I mean, if it's like I said in my Gotti episode, if it's really that bad, I'll just fucking walk out and say I hate it to the clerk there. The clerk will give me my fucking money back. They have to, because I'm a patron, and the customer is always right. If you work in retail, you probably hate me right now, because my girlfriend worked in retail, and I'd say that to fucking piss her off, like, in the same way as, like, I'd quote Trump to piss her off. But I digress. I don't like Trump. You know, let me just put that out to clear the air. I just do it to piss my girlfriend off because I know it will piss my girlfriend off. Slash, not just my girlfriend, everybody. I'm just a dickhead like that. All right, digression over. So, well, actually, back on the digression. That I speak of Trump, I'm actually kind of ashamed of myself, and I'm going to give myself a little slap on the wrist while I'm driving. Luckily, I didn't crash. Yeah, I don't think that's another thing that I'm kind of scared about with this movie, is that it's going to be very Trumpy. To be honest with you, in the comedy world, in fucking anything to do with art right now, I think that is probably the lowest common denominator of fucking tropes that we have had in the last 2 years, and I know this movie is going to be very Trumpy, like I just said, like making Trump jokes, making fucking it like I said, it's just fucking adding gasoline to the fire. We don't really particularly need shit like this jammed down our throat, fucking shoved in our face. These are just my feelings, but I mean, mainly in comedy. In comedy, it's the easiest fucking, like, lowest hanging fruit that you could possibly use, and everybody is fucking utilizing it. I don't think it's very cool. And, well, I mean, this movie, the first fucking promotional material they put out for it was a picture that said the first Purge on a fucking MAGA hat. So, I mean, I'm assuming that the origins are going to be pretty Trumpy. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to do another Kobayashi Maru with my mom's cat, which is becoming more and more difficult because my cousin is supposed to be feeding them. Well, there's 2 cats. Only one of them has diabetes that I need to treat, and that is the mean one. Neither of them have been fed in the past couple of days, so my intrusion is even less welcome. I know this has very little to do with the Purge, but it still stings. Yeah, she hasn't been feeding them, so that fucker just about picked all the skin off my hand right down to the bone when I tried giving her the insulin shot. Looked all over the goddamn house, couldn't find any food. Man, it must be wonderful to live in a life where you never walked home and found your animal dead and you just don't fucking care. It's not even my animal, and I'm stressing out like this about it. Sorry, folks. I know I try and keep the personal color commentary to a minimum, but my fucking hand hurts, and I still feel like an asshole because the cat clearly hasn't eaten for probably a day or 2 now, on top of me having to force it out from under whatever surface it's under and give it a shot. Fuck, my hand hurts. Alright, but we are closing in on the cinema house where I am about to see, like I said, the first Purge. Hey, look, a bunch of dorks I went to school with. Anyway, like I said, I hope it's not as Trumpy as it seems, and I hope they kind of chilled out on that whole, I guess gun fu is the new nomenclature for a film like this now after John Wick. Yeah, I hope it's actually kind of scary and not just stupid jump scares and evil fake Trump and evil fucking fucker. More stuff that's fucking lame. Blumhouse has let me down too many times, and I'm afraid that this might be just another one of those times where they're gonna bum me out, because they do it, like, they have those movies that come out every once in a while that are really fucking awesome, And those are normally the ones that nobody really talks about. And all the ones that everybody fucking blows up with all this hype kind of end up being shit. Well, creeps, here's to me being wrong. Because I am just about to pull up to the cinema and I'm about to find out. See you soon. Holy shit, was that ever lame. Alright, let's start this. Let's start this trip back in my my extreme displeasure at this particular... Well, I mean... Now, from what I was saying earlier, it kind of seemed like I don't know if you could tell, but I was a little bit on the fence with this franchise. I mean, it was already one of those things, like I said. It kind of, there's no real way that it's justified itself to be what it is. Like, maybe, like, the Anarchy one, like, yeah, I get it. You had, a cool idea, and then you can expand on it with more money. Like, yeah, that's... fucking more power to you. You had a cool idea that was like pretty cheap to execute. You made a lot of money, and you want to make another one that like expands on what you did because you had to like limit yourself so much with the cheap script and the cheap production. I completely understand making one sequel, but what we're entering now is even worse than Saw territory. This is like fucking Paranormal Activity level, like slap in the face. Like I don't even really have that much to even fucking say about this goddamn movie, other than it was just like all of the fears that I was voicing previously pretty much came true. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna spoil this one for you, but I mean, if anything, I'm being a spoiler by fucking not telling you what happens, so you don't know how dumb this movie is. Well, all right, let me just give you some broad strokes of what kind of irked me. What kind of Steve Urkel'd me. So yeah, like I was saying, I was kind of hoping the movie wouldn't get like too political and like in your face, like Trumpy, and it obviously did all of those things. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm going out to the movie theaters every weekend. Or, I don't go every weekend, but I'm watching every movie I ever watch to fucking forget about everything bad that's going on in the world. That's the exact opposite of how I feel. But I mean, if you're gonna put yourself out there and try and make real statements like this, then I mean the children's gloves have to come off. I'm gonna have to hit you with my fists because you're trying to make some sort of fucking deep statement, but all like the level of how deep of a statement this movie is like a fucking some kid that's watched The Dark Knight too many times and wants to be Heath Ledger's Joker for some reason, and he's like a fucking freshman in college and fucking screaming about how like the government wants to kill poor people. All right, that's a little bit of a spoiler, but I'm not gonna go anywhere beyond that. Like, I didn't think that these movies could get any cheesier, and I mean, I love cheesy movies, like, do not get me wrong, but when you're fucking making a movie that's so fucking parallel to the world that we're living in, and you're really not contributing any voice other than that of, like I said, someone who wishes that they were Heath Ledger's Joker, then I don't know, like, it's just bothersome. Especially since they're having that TV show come out on, I'm assuming the Sci-Fi Channel, because that's where they're putting out every stupid fucking TV show that people in suits think that nerds want to watch for some reason. Like that Krypton show, which admittedly I thought was kind of cool at first because initially it was a lot better than Man of Steel was, in my opinion, but then it just got boring and stupid after like the third episode. So I'm assuming that this Purge TV show is just gonna be a fucking disaster, but people will keep watching it, and this franchise will fucking still exist for some reason. That was a lot of words that came out. I need a little breath here. But I mean, if you really loved the other Purge movies, then I'm sure this one will be right up your alley. I'm sure that the fucking TV show will be right up your alley. It's just like the exact same thing as the Saw franchise. It's like, yeah, the first one was like a pretty fucking brilliant idea, and you were able to make a pretty kind of a large scope story, but contain it so that it really didn't have to be too expansive of a story, and it didn't have to be too expensive of a movie, and like I'll always love the first Saw movie just for that. But these movies, like the Saw movies, what I was saying earlier, I can keep the kids' gloves on because they never tried, like, they did shit like put the guy from Linkin Park in the movies. Like, they didn't do anything like trying to critique our current political climate. Like, fucking, I don't know. This, it's just a complicated, annoying period in time, I guess. I'm just saying this is not what I want out of even an action movie. I think this fucking, like I was saying earlier, Jack Bauer 24, like, fucking shoot all of our enemies shit is getting a bit tiresome. And it's been going on for way too fucking long. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole. I'm not trying to say you're an asshole if you enjoy that stuff, but I'm just, honestly, right now, I don't see how this is something that anyone could be into, because I mean, it just makes, if you're someone who's pro guns, it makes you look like a fucking moron, and if you're against guns, it's fucking gross. Like, there's really just not too much behind it other than stupid bullshit we hear on the news, like gross violence. I mean, even worse than the other ones. That's why this is so disappointing to me. I was hoping kind of that they'd go maybe in the other direction, but I guess election year should have warned me that they were not going to pull any punches when it came to our current situation, and worse on them, I guess, because they don't have any good ideas. It's just fucking like a fucking paint by numbers Purge movie, and I didn't think that was something that already existed, but it does apparently, because they've made so fucking many of them already. Yes, very, very disappointing. It just I don't know. Maybe they'll get somebody with some more imagination and invention on the TV show, but I'm sincerely doubting it after watching that teaser for the show. I don't know. Just very, very disappointing. And I hope that my next one will not be so disappointing, because I mean, I don't even have anything funny like when I saw Gotti. Like, this was just fucking, like I said, I had to take the fucking gloves off on this one. Alright, until next time, creeps. I love you, and I hope you don't see this, I hope you don't pay any money to see this movie. Doc out.